Dear viewers, today I want us to talk about research. And research, when we talk about research, we are striving to find a solution to a problem. And in this case, I'm going to talk about an academic research, the requirements of an academic research. We know each university has its own format, so it is good to refer to your specific format. But today I'm going to talk about generally the elements of an academic research. There are mainly 5 chapters in an academic research, and we begin with chapter 1, and chapter 1 has the background of the study. Basically it's called an introduction. It has the background of the study where you talk about the issue you are tackling from global perspective to regional perspective, then national perspective. And national is normally local perspective. So you can cite studies from maybe United States of America, 2 studies, Europe, 2 studies, Asia, 2 studies, Africa, 2 studies, and the local perspective, like when we are talking about Kenya now, you can pick 2 or 3 studies and make sure most of them are not more than 5 years old. Okay, now from background, the next subtopic is a statement of the problem, and here is where you state the problem that you are going to tackle. What is this that the society is crying about? Which problem is this? And the best way of showing whether there is a problem is to cite other studies that were close to what you are tackling, and then you show the gap they left, which your study is going to fill. So everything has to be scientific. We don't talk like pedestrians, so you must show the problem through or addressing other studies. Then you highlight the gap, the knowledge gap they left out. Now, after the statement of the problem, we go to another subtopic called objectives, the objectives of the study. These ones are very important because they give focus. They give your research focus. You know, you're not tackling a broad topic. You have to narrow it down to a manageable topic. So here you can state like 4 objectives and a minimum of 3. After the objectives, we move on to research questions. And research questions are basically the same as the objectives, only that you state them as questions, right? Now, after the research questions, you move on to the scope of the study. Normally we say scope and delimitations of the study. The scope is all about the subject. How deep are you going to cover this topic? Which area are you going to cover? Who are you going to test? Your respondents or your participants. You state all that. Now, delimitation is basically the geographical area that you are going to cover. You state that, and it is always good to justify. You say, why did you decide to cover that specific area? You justify. Now, after the scope and delimitation, you go to significance of the study. And under significance of the study, we are looking at those people that are likely to benefit from your study. You need to state them, you highlight them. Yeah, all of them. Now, after significance, you go to justification. Some universities will work with significance and ignore justification. They are almost the same. If you consult your university to find out whether they are using justification or significance. Under justification, you are justifying why you are carrying out that study. After justification, you also need to explain your conceptual framework. And the conceptual framework is basically a diagram, an illustration with independent variables on your left and dependent variables on your right. And if you are to have intervening variables, you can have them below there, but you need arrows to show the interrelationship. A conceptual framework is basically an illustration of the relationship between your independent variables, your dependent variables, and your intervening variables. So make sure you do a proper drawing, and the independent variables should capture your objectives. So your objective number one should be reflected in independent variable number one. So if you had 4 objectives, make sure you have 4 variables. Normally the dependent variable is the end result. What will happen when the independent variables act? Then the result should be the dependent variable. The intervening variables are those issues that might happen along the way and twist the independent variables and then change the aspect of your result or the dependent variable. Now, after the conceptual framework, we move on to theoretical framework. Theoretical framework is basically the theories that will inform your study. So the theory has to be related to your topic. It has to inform your topic. So when you are talking about the theories, first of all, you need to tell us who is the founder of the theory, when was it developed, and what does it posit? What does it say? And then tell us how it informs your study, your topic. Then tell us the weaknesses of that theory, and then the strengths of that theory. Remember, you must do citations as you explain about your theories. Now, after the theories, you can have 1 or 2 or 3 depending on your university recommendations. Some universities will take the theories to chapter 2, and others will have them in chapter 1. Others will have them in chapter 1 briefly, and then explain them, expound on them in chapter 2. So consult your university to find out about the requirement. Now, after the theories, we go to the keywords that will cover your study. It is normally called operational definition of key terms. And we derive the key terms from the objectives. So look at your objectives. If there are 4, then you should have 4 key terms. And you should explain them according to how you are going to use them in your study. And they should be alphabetical, A to Z. Thank you.